Yep, I'm gonna replace my windshield. Well, I'm taking my windshield off, and as you can see, I already took 3 of the bolts off over here. And the reason I'm putting these towels underneath here is in case the nut or the bolt, the screw, falls that way, it's going to fall into the bike somewhere, and then it's harder to get out. This makes it kind of convenient. Kind of don't worry about it too much because whether it's going to fall. But see how this nut, square nut, it's an insert, and it indents into the windshield in the back, and it just makes it a lot easier to take out. And as you can see, that was pretty simple to take out. Here's the other one. This shouldn't take about 5 minutes or so. I just took the nut off, well, not the nut, but the bolt. And now I just got to take that back screw out. The screw of the insert. And if that falls, like I said, it's going to take when I first replaced the stock windshield to this upgrade here, right here, this is the upgrade, 11 inches. And it has a little flare to it. It has a little flare onto the sides of it. And this is the original one. So you can see it was just square and didn't do too much to the buffeting right there. It's brand new. So if you guys want to purchase it, let me know. See the difference there? I think they're both 11 inches, except one has a flare and one doesn't. So what I'm looking for is actually a different shield, and I came up with one. It's right here. It just came. It's in this package right here, and as you guys can guess, it's Freedom Shield. And on this video, I'm going to show you pretty much what I did in comparison to probably about 6 different companies to put the right windshield on. And I'm a big fan of customer service. Freedom Shields was the first one to respond to me, and the second one was Klocks Werks. They responded to me as well. I was looking at some other ones. As you can see from up here, I do have a list of the windshield companies that I got a hold in comparison, and the number of choices, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and of course Freedom Shield was the number 1. And the reason for, well, I'm doing a voiceover because that plane making a lot of sound. Anyways, I was going to do the voiceover because on here, these are the shields, and my pick was, yep, Freedom Shields was my number 1 pick, and my second one was, you guessed it, Long Ride Shields. That's correct. Long Shield was actually my first pick. But for other reasons, I went ahead and went with number 2. And here was my third. And if you can look at this explanation for Indian, because I already had Indian. But my explanation on this was I went with Long Shield, but they didn't make a 13-inch. And I was looking for a 13-inch. And the other reason was they were sold out. And then so I went with Freedom Shield. Customer service was great. And the 13-inch shield. Well, I'm going on my ride, and I can see above my windshield. And it's probably just about where below my nose bridge. And my eyes are about right up here. So I can see the car in front of me totally, not through the windshield, but above the windshield. And let's see how close I can get before it hits my windshield. Right there. So it's probably dead on to where I need my windshield height. And I don't really feel a whole lot of buffeting on my helmet. I can still hear the wind, but I don't feel the buffing on top of my helmet. I think it's way up, pretty high on top of my helmet. So it's kind of distorting right now because I still have the film on it, the plastic film on the windshield, for I can go on a test ride, and if I didn't like it, I could return it 100%. Probably minus shipping, but at least I wouldn't have to pay for the windshield if I wasn't too happy with it. At this point, I think it's doing its job. I wish one thing that Freedom Shields would have done, and I think LRS might have it, but it's just a little flare at the bottom of this. So I don't feel a whole lot of air coming through here. It's kind of like going out. It's not coming in. So I think it's doing its job. I'm happy with it. And again, that's Freedom Shields. They're based out of Colorado, USA made. No distortion. Of course, with the film, that's all I see is distortion. But I think once I take that film out, I'll be able to be probably 100% happier, because then I can actually see through the windshield in front of me on the road. At this point, I can see the road ahead of me, so I'm pretty happy with it. And that's at its lowest point. This is the lowest my windshield will go. It won't go any lower. Well, the next test is the long ride shield, and here I got it on my bike. I'm trying to measure up to it, and one thing I like this shield over the Freedom Shield was that its lowest point was really low. At its highest point, it's probably where I want it. So it's kind of the reverse of the height of the Freedom Shield. So if Freedom Shield would take back the shield and cut about an inch, almost an inch and a half off of it, it'd be perfect. Because at that point, at its highest level, it's going to be where I want it. And we'll see. I think this is a perfect height. This is at its lowest point here. From the middle bolt, top of the windshield, 1 foot, 12 inches. Let's measure this from the inside compared to the other ones. This one right here has 11 inches from where I was measuring it. So, yep, I think this will be great. And I can raise it up. At its highest point, I can't see over the windshield. It does have a little line right here, kind of like a distortion. And I think that's where the bend comes up, the flip. Right here, right there, just slightly. And that's probably about, it's below my eyes. My eyes are right up here, so this is perfect. But then more than likely, this is probably where I'll be traveling most of the time, right here. Yep, about right there. Let's go take it for a test ride and face the road. Let's go ride. Oh man, I'm excited. You know, but as you can see, this is what I was talking about. I'll point this out to you. Oops, point this out to you guys. Wrong side there. These other shields, like Freedom. See this dark shade right here? It covers up the mechanics of the cast iron from the manufacturer of Indian, where it mounts to. One thing I did like about this shield, mounting it on, they give you little rubber, little gaskets that they actually go on the screw. And the holes don't line up perfectly. You just got to put a little pressure on it, but you can make them adjustments. Like I was saying, I'm going to find some compatible paint or rubberized or something like that goes on polycarbonate and it doesn't affect the windshield. And I'll probably make my own masking right down there to cover that. That would be another video, right? Let's go face the road and try this out.
Okay, well, like I said, this long ride shield, it's at its lowest point. And what's good about Indian on this auto shield here adjustment, I can adjust it to where I can actually bring the shield up but not look through the windshield. But I'm going to raise it all up. Okay, I'm actually looking through the windshield, and the vehicle right in front of me, my eyesight, my shield is probably about, if you're visualizing it, it's kind of like an inch above the roof of that vehicle. That's where my eyesights are actually at. It's about like this right here, like this big, so it probably is not more than an inch. But because I ordered a clear shield, it's clear. The only other thing I don't really like about a long ride shield, but it's probably anything with a recurve. I'm not sure about Freedom. I'd have to take that film off of Freedom, and if I do, then I own it. But their sell pitch is it doesn't have distortion. Now this has a distortion on it, so I'm going to give Freedom Shield a call and see if they're willing to cut my shield down 1.5 inches and then mail it back to me. If they do that, I'll probably end up keeping it, but if they don't, well, I'm probably just gonna send it back to them and tell them to keep it. Well, I'm sorry for the sun shining, but the sun comes up on the east, obviously, and I'm going eastbound, and we got the sun there. So what I'll do is I'm going to turn around here and go on the side road here, and we won't have the sun. Maybe we can see the shield a little bit better. But I am keeping this shield because I did a little modification to it myself, and as you can see right here, and if you look at the picture of long shield up here in the description, you see that this part up here is clear. So yep, I did paint it, and it looks good from the outside, not so good from the inside. Did a quick job to it. You can see a lot of little details, but at least it's darkened out.